Hello and welcome to this week's episode of MT Squared, Minerva's 2-minute tactics for your procurement. And in the week where it's been announced that the DFE are considering buying 360,000 abacuses in order to actually help with maths catch-up learning, I thought it would be remiss of me not to have an episode about numbers. And numbers when it comes to procurement, as I'm sure you would understand, are critically important. The reason I say this is because I see so many times where the information that we are provided contains inaccuracies. And unfortunately, often these inaccuracies don't get picked up until after the contract has been awarded. And then, of course, there are huge problems because the contractor has been given incorrect information. So just to give you some examples of things that I'm talking about here, pupil numbers, critically important when it comes to your catering tender, because effectively that's the number of customers that the catering contractor would have available to them. So looking at your numbers, not just in the current academic year, but in the years ahead, and trying as far as you possibly can, without the aid of a crystal ball, to predict what your pupil numbers will be is really important. Another area that's hugely important where we've seen problems in the past is your internal floor areas. So the square meterage of your floor areas in your school with regard to cleaning tenders. Most cleaning contractors will be looking at productivity ratios, they'll be looking at the floor coverings, but really they'll be looking at the square meterage of your building. So if for some reason you've given them inaccurate information, that could have a really profound effect on their bid that they've put forward. And if you don't find that out till afterwards, that can cause problems. Another area to look at, planned and preventative maintenance. Do make sure that the asset list that you've got available to you is really up to date. I've seen a few examples where, when a new contractor's come in, they've discovered that actually, instead of there being 15 solar panels on the roof, there's 20, for example. So it's things like that where you need to be really careful. So whilst I fully accept that you're incredibly busy people, I would strongly recommend that when you are issuing some tender documents, that you really go through those numbers with a fine-tooth comb and make sure they are as accurate as possible, because it will save you a lot of time and angst later on in the process if you then discover that they're not. So that's my tactic for this week. I'm off to go and find my calculator, and I'll see you next time. Till then, soldier on!